this. Hey, look at that. We're streaming. Forbidden Lands is a thing. We're doing. How is everybody?
Fantastic.
We are here, I think.
We're back.
It is good to be back.
It is. It is. I just we were talking before the stream, and I noticed that like the last roll that is actually displayed was almost a month ago.
Yeah.
So this is apparently a once a month game. So I guess
Consistent.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to grow an audience here, right? And there's nothing.
Once a month is the way to go.
Exactly.
Touch and go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they say consistency, right? Like putting out content. They just didn't say that. Like,
But also, you want to stand out and be different. So you want to go against the grain and be like, "What about inconsistency?"
Yeah. Exactly.
Everyone does a once a week game,
right?
Consistently inconsistent. That's a good way to describe us.
Perfect. Yes.
We're not like those other games.
That's how we do it. Exploring on the map too. We're consistently
Why
inconsistent.
explore when you can just keep in the town?
Listen, there's interesting stuff going on in the town. Why explore?
Home drama.
It is true. It is true. There's actually shit happening.
We got some home drama going on.
Well, welcome to Forbidden Lands, everybody's favorite dating sim. So when we left off a month ago, y'all had an adventure. You'd gone to scout the slavers that were hanging out.
One cliffhanger after another.
In the woods. Look, an RPG is just a series of cliffhangers. Just that's all we do. Isn't that like the selling point of these games? Like they just don't end ever. Like you can play them for decades. We're gonna stream this up for 10 years. Only we're gonna do it once a month for 10 years.
That's not a bad. I mean, that's pretty good still.
Is it?
You know?
Is it?
Yeah, we're all retired and we're like, time to leave town.
Not only do I not remember what happened last session, I don't know who I am.
This is why I have to keep so many index
I
cards.
think I got this character.
Because my ADD and playing this game once a month means that I have to make lots of little notes.
Man, that'd be smart. I should do that.
Yeah, it works.
All right.
I'm not going to, but I should.
Do we make personal character sheets just so we remember who we are?
No.
Okay.
No, we did not. Anyway, yeah. So you had gone out to scout out this group of slavers, and in the process of doing that, if I remember correctly, you had Arlen was a very successful minstrel, bringing a community that had been rent in two by Discord together in common cause. Only it was the common cause of getting ready to sack your hometown.
I forgot that you rallied around the slavers, that you rallied them back together. Why would you do that?
Task failed successfully.
Also, you murdered their leader's best friend. I believe that was Umlaut. No, it was self-defense. It was a goblin. He was going to like come out and probably try and kill you.
And then I remembered we couldn't leave him to be found, so like we were starting to take him somewhere, and like it almost turned into like a Weekend at Bernie's kind of situation. But
y'all carried him back. Like you have the body of False, the goblin. And Umlaut, or not Umlaut, I'm sorry, Nissel had like set their swinehounds, their like weird demon boar hybrid creatures that they had pinned up loose.
Yeah, and their horses as well.
And all their horses before writing back. So the upshot of everything. And you had like fled and made it back to crossing, in order to like prepare, right?
Right.
Is there anything that I'm missing that is standing out at the moment, or is that about right?
Just
I
laugh
think that's about right.
Okay.
Yeah, we had an excellent plan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, flawless execution. Absolute
Perfect.
flawless.
Perfection.
So, what the first thing that I think I need to sort of call attention to is that it takes time to cross a hex, right? Let me actually I'll bring us to the map, and there we go.
There's still that one gap.
There's still that one gap.
That must never be entered.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta leave
Oh,
that
it's
hole.
just
That's
me.
our calling sign. That's our marker. We leave
Right.
one hex unexplored.
Oh, clearly this is gonna drive me nuts, and I apologize that it's gonna probably refresh everything for everybody.
I see 3 things that say unknown on the map to the north and the west.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's some pins for things that you haven't spotted yet.
Things that we don't know yet.
We'll
Things
just pretend
that
we
you
don't know they're there.
We know what we don't know.
You don't know what you
These are the unknown unknowns.
the unknown unknowns. All right. I don't know what that little thing is up in the corner, but fine, whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna sweat it. I was missing that. I was missing my pings. That's what I wanted.
Those birds are huge and terrifying.
They're
They're really big.
enormous. It's not
Yeah.
that they're big, it's just that they're much closer to the camera.
Right, that
Oh.
makes
Forced
sense.
perspective. There
Forced
you go.
perspective, right? Yeah. They're
That's what,
they're filming Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So sorry. What I was going to get to was that all of that stuff happened in the night, right? And it takes a quarter day to move from one hex to the next. And you've actually moved from there back to crossing. So it is currently the last quarter day. When was the last time anybody had rested? Like, had you rested out in the morning before you left, and then come?
I feel like that's the case.
we rested before we went to check on the slavers, yeah.
But didn't we
Yeah,
wait
I
till
think we-
nighttime?
I think we knew we were gonna
Yeah.
be going traveling at night, so we rested.
That's right. Okay. It's been a
However,
while.
if
Look,
it
I
is
only
now-
went
if
back
it is
and
now
watched.
Morning, Arlen, while riding back, will munch on some food.
Because you do have food, right?
And he is a halfling. He's a chef, and he likes to eat.
Yeah, I was just bringing it up because I knew that it was a thing that needed to get dealt with. And your food stores are fine at the moment. So it's like the middle of the night now, like creeping into early morning. And you've arrived back at crossing. You're ahead of the slavers, but you know that they're coming. What's your plan at this point? Like, as everybody sort of sort of meets up. I know that Nissel had kind of like taken an alternate route on horseback.
Oh, I rode the horse. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Nissel's first ride.
Yeah, to get back, but like
I mean, do we kind of want to warn people that slavers are coming? I guess.
Yeah, I think we were about to do the Paul Revere, right?
Is that what we did? That's what I thought. Yeah.
Do we want to try to send the bandits out after them?
Nissel planned on riding into town doing that, but then he was having such a moment with the horse, he just rode past the town. He was just having a moment. He was just in the zone, you know?
just missed your exit. You zoned out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happens to anyone.
Mhm.
He's been through a lot.
Do we want to try to warn the bandits to entrench here to defend, or like send them out after the
I mean, I think it would make
Does
most sense to have them meet the people.
Does the
coming
town-
in,
Does
because
the town provide any defenses? Does it have like any like wall structure or anything like that?
it has
So
houses.
the town it doesn't have much in the way of walls. There's some spots where there's like wooden palisades that have been erected mostly like after the bandits moved in, because because it's one of those things like where you hire a thief to figure out how to like keep your stuff from getting stolen. Like they know how raiding villages works. So they built some defenses, but they're not like super sturdy, right? Like for the most part, like your biggest defense is the fact that the town is backed up against a river, and so you could really only get to it like coming in from the north, like north to south and east to west.
What if we set up an ambush in town? What if we prep the town to ambush the slavers? The slavers walk in, they're like, "Oh, it's empty," and then we're like, "Aha!"
wouldn't the slavers expect the town, because they saw us running away towards the town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No,
Wouldn't
they
expect
didn't
us
see us
to
running away.
Prepare the town if we could get the town and the bandits.
No, yeah, I don't think they saw us running away.
I think they
technically
still
they just
expect
have
the town
no
to
idea what
be-
happened.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Arland was headed back.
Mm-hmm.
The only guy that saw is dead.
So I guess am I overestimating how much they actually know about what the fuck just happened?
I think so.
Yeah, so I think it's reasonable, because they know they've got an informant, right? They're not stupid. It probably like they're going to put two and two together and be like, oh, like these, people knew that we were here. We
And
They
all of a
definitely
sudden
know
our horses
something.
are loose.
They know something's up. They're just not exactly sure what it is.
Yeah. It like total like you've got time because you know that they're going to have to like gather their shit, right?
So I guess my question is what's the better defense? Like being in town or the element of surprise by like meeting them out of town? If they think they're just gonna come in, they're not prepared for battle or anything yet.
Which side has the bigger force?
I think they had more. Well,
So
technically, they would have more like fighter capacity, right? Because they have all fighters, and we have some people that can fight, but some people are just town people, right?
yeah, that's pretty much it. Like,
So there's more slavers than there are bandits.
yeah, there are more slavers than there are bandits. There's more townsfolk than there are slavers, right? Like in sheer numbers, but
Mhm.
I mean, the reality is that pitchforks and
I
hoes
say then,
aren't-
and this is just a suggestion because Arlen is done making full decisions at the moment, but we arm the town, right, to defend. But then after whatever battle's done, the villagers are still armed. And maybe in that moment we could try to retake the town, either if the bandits won or if the bandits lost against whatever weakened slaver forces left.
Or we set the townspeople on fire and we send them out. It's like flaming assault people. Ah!
Yeah, we didn't do enough to the poor bartender. Let's do that too.
Oh yeah. What do you mean we? What do you mean we?
Right?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Who goaded the bartender into going out?
Hey.
But that was me. Sorry.
Are you
By the way, I still
yellow?
have my pride, but that's only because I didn't use it last session.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
as soon as you use it, it's gone. Because we know how you roll.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we set up some kind of trap. I think that maybe if we use the town to our advantage, it would be better than if we were out in the wilderness. Maybe we're out in the wilderness and we fall back. I don't know.
I think ideally we don't have the big conflict happen in the town if the town is a thing we like.
Oh, okay.
I like the town.
I mean, once it's not in trouble anymore, if nothing else, it's a thing you can use, right? Like it's a resource that you have because it's a place you can go back to.
It's
I mean,
also
unless
our
it gets
home,
burned down.
Sean.
Right. Unless it gets burned down.
Wait, I think this was onto an idea earlier with the abandoned town. Have you guys seen Willow? All right, let's do.
There's a couple examples of that I could use.
Back in our town, we have gophers.
Teddy bears with spears.
It's a crazy how well it worked against an advanced military force
All right.
with robots and lasers.
I mean, Umlaut's not particularly attached to this town. It's convenient.
Right.
That is the extent of Umlaut's attachment to it. He's not super fond of the bandits, and not at all fond of the slavers. That
Well,
might
yeah.
be the only thing he cares about, actually.
I think
he would
Arlen
like
and
to see
Nissel.
this.
I think Arlen and Nissel are the only ones who this is actually their home. So
Nissel's okay with setting fire to the town.
okay, so Arlen is the only one
I think
who considers this his home.
There's no.
All right, so we start following the river to the northwest.
Hey, slavers are coming. Good luck.
I
we
was-
leave a note. Let's
I was
just put
gonna
a
say,
note into
like-
the door.
XOXO sign at the end.
I mean,
You guys want to go get that
Charles'
carpet back
point
at
of
that
view
tower?
You know, he doesn't like bandits, but you know, there's always bandits. But he really doesn't like slavers, so he'd rather the bandits win here.
Right.
And if we're lucky, the bandits win barely, and then we kick their ass.
Maybe the bandits win and they're like, because of us, and they're like, hey, we're now your bandits.
So then we start getting some of the money that the townspeople have to pay. This sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm down.
We
We turn this into a stronghold.
I mean,
Sounds
I was
great.
gonna say there are stronghold rules, but
Guys, I think-
that requires
Oh,
investment. How are you guys doing on funds, by the way?
I'm poor because I buy people too much shit when I
Oh,
feel
yes.
guilty.
Arlen,
I got some silver and copper.
I have 0 gold, 0 silver, 0 copper.
Arlen spent a lot of money on making up for some poor decisions. I've got 7 silver.
Nice.
That's all I got.
That's almost a gold.
Hey,
7/10 of a gold. All right. So yeah. What What
I
are we-
lost my sheet with names on it, but we need to go warn the leader of the bandits. I think give him a heads up that the slavers are coming and they are a superior force.
Okay.
yeah, at least that they have to. Yeah, we have to figure out some.
But
kind of-
don't paint it in such a scary light that the bandits are like, cool, fuck you guys, good luck, and they leave.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you say,
'Cause
hey,
they are
we can
still
take them
cowards
out.
in core.
I mean,
Yeah, but they've got a good thing going.
they do have a good thing
We
going.
wanna
What?
make them think that it's defendable, but like
What if we ride
take
out
a
with the
little effort.
bandits? What if we ride out with the bandits, fight the force on the outskirts, see how we do, escape if we need to, and then just skirt out of town the other way?
What about the villagers?
I'm a goblin. The only thing I cared about died in this fucking town and turned into shadow.
But what about your goblin family that lives in the forest and like trades in the town?
The
sometimes?
forest doesn't live in the town. That they're okay with that. We find another town to trade with.
Oh my god.
All right, so
Evolve
problem
and
solved.
adapt.
Screw this. Let's bail.
I think we should still arm the villagers.
And this was fine with warning the villagers and being like, "Hey, peace out with us. Let's go this way. Good luck." But I mean, like, he's not. He doesn't. He's gonna save the fucking horse. He loves this horse now. There's a connection. There's a spark. He wants to see where the relationship goes. That's not. You can't fault him for that. He's had a major loss in his life.
No, I know.
Just
I just
turned
the way you put
weirdly
it was
Loki.
just awkward.
Look, I'm doing my best to be non-judgmental.
All right, so
I appreciate that.
So at absolute least, we need to warn the leader of the bandits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to try to fight with him? Do we want to rally them and try to see if we can get him to go fight?
Is there anything else to do? we could fight with. I mean, Tornald is not a fighter, but Tornald would definitely like to gather some lethal poison herbs.
we also might need a battle medic to help get the wounded.
True. Yeah, I got some magic and shit that I can do.
So, well, let's first things first. You're going to go wake up, like,
Yeah.
Gallivan,
Step one, Umlaut goes talks to the main guy.
the bandit leader, and try and like get him roused. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think we definitely need to go back and report, because that was the whole thing. Like, I told him I would go check out the situation and come back and report.
Right. Cool. And is it just you, or who else going?
I mean, I'll stand by silently.
Okay.
And look menacing.
I'm not afraid to let Arland talk. So
maybe maybe Nissel just stands by Arlen and looks menacing.
At Arland, like you're like
At
you're,
Arlen, yeah.
just staring at
you're
him.
staring me down.
just yeah.
Not another fucking word.
All right. So, like, I guess my question is the whole crew going, or is it just
Arlen won't go. Arlen will stay away.
What's that?
Arlen won't go. He'll stay away.
Okay.
Arnold's gonna gather herbs and shit.
Yeah, Arlen can go help Tornald. Maybe you guys can go.
Gathering
Well,
herbs in the middle of the night?
There's some herbs, especially poisonous herbs, that
Last time I tried something like that,
the
Tornald, I
blooms.
ended up getting taken out by leeches. Just so you
Yes.
know.
Almost dying.
So
some of these blooms only open in the middle of the night, and that's the only
Alright.
time you can get them. So
it's. I mean, that's what dice rolls are for, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll go with Umlaut.
And just to be clear, like, doing that kind of like gathering rolls is the kind of thing that takes a quarter day, like, just because that's how time gets measured, right?
true. I mean, are they
well,
less than a quarter day behind us? Good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah, having just fled the camp of the slavers, I can't imagine anybody being like, all right, well, I'm going to go have a snooze now.
Right.
yeah, I don't think that they're gonna be like, let's wait.
Yeah.
Fine.
Hold up. We haven't had a breakfast yet. We haven't had our morning prayer or whatever.
I can dig some holes in the road so that they're horses will trip or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, that's,
They don't have any horses.
yeah. Well, I like.
True. They're all
like-
just gonna run, break their ankles. Yes.
I
We'll
suppose they might have taken time to go gather them.
yeah. That's all. We'll kind of handle that after we deal with the with this part. Like two things happening technically simultaneously, but we'll deal with one thing at a time. So Umlaut and Nissel, you're standing at Gallivan's farmhouse. It's dark. There's some chickens scratching like out in the overgrown field and in front of the place.
If we're outside, I clarify that Nissel would be on the horse's back at all times.
You're okay. So you're like on horseback, like out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're outside, if we have to go inside, he'll get off the
Uh,
horse's back reluctantly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you just like bang on the door, call for him, like?
Yeah, just like bang on the door. Galvin.
Yeah, and there's a couple moments where nothing happens, and then you hear like a thump and some like muffled curses. And before the door opens and Gallivan's out there in like he's got a sword, like a naked sword in one hand, and just like his like nightshirt.
It's like a nightgown, like a full on like flannel nightgown.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like bleary eyed, like hung over slightly. It just like opens the door. What the? And then blinks a couple of times as he as he stares up at Umlaut, who's much larger than he is. And like he's just what are you? What is it you want? Like was asleep and is confused.
Yeah. The slavers aren't far off.
Yeah, it like, and you watch it like take a moment for him to process what you've just told him. They're not far off. Like, you know where they are?
Yes, and there's not much time. We need to begin fortifying the town, the village, and we need to make plans for attack.
Yeah, and then he's just like, they're coming here.
Yes.
How many of them? What do we? Why are they coming now?
Soon. Don't know exactly when. But soon. They plan to come take the town and the people in it.
Fuck. Yeah, and he's just like trying to get his brain to click into place. And he's like, go tell people I'll rouse my men. How much time do we have? You said not much time. I should. And he looks down. I should wear pants.
Yeah. Does the church have like a bell or?
No, because it's like it's not really a church so much as it is like a shrine, right?
Right.
Nissel takes off and starts making as much racket and running around town. Then
He's
the moment he says
for the
there's
job.
no bell, he just takes off.
just making a lot of loud noise.
Yeah.
Cool. I feel like what's kind of at stake here is like, can you get people up and aroused and ready, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I have an action that might help with that. I don't know, like there's not setup actions and stuff, but I was gonna do something that might help with that a little bit, especially with like the getting them ready part.
okay.
I was gonna go to the blacksmith
Mm-hmm.
and wake her up.
Okay.
And I was going to basically be like, hey, your friends are coming. How many swords do you have to arm the people of the town? Basically, like swords, shovels, anything that they can hold on to and swing hard enough.
Oh yeah, because you're so you're like gonna go wake up Solista the dwarf. That's right.
Yes.
And
Isn't she in on the whole
Uh-huh.
slaver cake
Yeah,
Yeah,
thing?
that's what I say. Hey, your friends are coming.
Yeah.
If you want them to just deal with the bandits and not, your community, let's arm some people.
okay.
Yeah, here's your chance to make the right decision. Even though
Uh,
you've already made the wrong decision.
yeah. Is everybody okay with me bouncing over there to like
Sure.
handle that? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Waking her up isn't a problem. She's actually like it's late at night and she has actually like been up working because like this whole thing is because she's been overworked by the bandits, right? Like they've just dumped all of their work onto her. And so like when you get to her shop, she's like there's still like lights glowing in the forge. And as you step in,
I'll just walk in then. Yeah.
yeah, she's just like, we're closed. I don't have time for any more work. She doesn't look at you. She just assumes you're a bandit.
She's like, well, you better make time because your friends in the forest are on their way right now.
And like, ching, ching, and then stops. And like slowly turns towards you. And
I say, yeah, I'm assuming you know who I talk. I don't have to name names. I think you know who I'm talking about. They're on their way now. How many swords or heavy objects or anything that we can arm the townsfolk with do you have?
She like she looks straight into your face and says, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's fine. They're still on their way no matter what you know that I'm talking about or not. They're on their way. We need to arm the townsfolk to defend ourselves, or they're gonna knock the bandits aside like they're nothing and take our people.
Yeah, she says, I fail to see how any of this is my problem.
I mean, I can make it your problem. I can go tell the rest of the townspeople who's coming and why they're coming.
She's got her hammer in one hand and she says, oh, can you?
What's her name? Celesta?
Solista.
I pick like a thumbnail with my dagger and I'll say, Celesta, we know each other. We've both grown up in this town. You know I'm much faster than you. I can run out that door before you even try anything. The doom that you've called is coming onto this town. You can step up and help us fight it. Or if you want, you can leave the town and I will take what you have and pass it out. But those really are only your two choices. Help us fight or get out of the way.
She says, how much time do we have?
Roughly a quarter day.
And they're coming from the east?
Yes.
She looks at you. And she says, wait outside. I need to gather some things.
Is she looking like she's going to like bolt? Like she's using this to get me out of the way so she can run, or does she look like she's being earnest about this?
You want to make an insight check?
I would love to make an insight check.
I should say roll
I
insight.
really want to know how long it's going to take Nissel to ride past the blacksmith joint.
I imagine that it won't take it won't be that long. Like
I only have a wits of 3 and insight of 0, so we'll see how this goes.
You can do it.
I can do it.
you can. Yeah, she's not like there's something in her voice. It doesn't sound like go outside and then she's gonna sneak out. Like she's not being quite that kind of duplicitous.
Something is up.
It's more like so you gave her the option of like you can stand aside, and she's like, yeah, let me get my stuff. And like something about the way that she says it makes it sound like I'm gonna get my like traveling stuff.
Yeah, not let me get my stuff to help you. Let me get my stuff to get the fuck out.
Like she's not really like running away. She clearly gives 0 fucks about this town. Like
So
she's already sold it out, right? Like
if I get that from her, then I'll be like, well, you get what you need. I'll just start taking inventory of what weapons we can pass out.
she says, you a blacksmith, halfling?
Nope, but I know what pointy things are and what heavy things are.
She like, she's got a rucksack and she's like tossing some stuff into it, like some food, and like, a few pieces of gear. Like she clearly knew that this was coming eventually. She wasn't entirely like, she didn't have everything set to go like right away, but it's conveniently placed around her shop so that it doesn't take her very long to like pack it up. And she like slaps you on the shoulder, and is like, well, seems like you've got everything well in hand. Like drops a like or like hikes up her belt, like checks her coin purse. She says, good luck, and goes to like walk past you out the door.
When she gets like into the door frame, I'll be like, Celesta, I get self-preservation, I do, but if you leave this town, there's no coming back, and the rest of the Ravenlands aren't very forgiving either.
She what are you trying to get her to like reconsider?
I would like to get her to stay. If you want me to roll for that, that's fine. But I mean, like he also gets why she's leaving, so he's not trying super hard. But I mean, he would prefer if she stayed. But
yeah, you can give it a try. Like
manipulation.
What's that?
Manipulation.
Yep. Oh damn! You got one. Yeah, she's standing there, and she sags a little. Do you expect her to stay
I don't expect like actually physical combat out of her, but like some kind of assistance, right?
Okay. She
Like fixing things that break in a fight, or like helping just pass out weapons, or helping fortify a building or something. You know, I don't expect direct stand up combat.
she she says the blades near the back of the stacks, and when she says stacks, like she has like everything kind of arranged like in wooden racks, like roughly in order of like, these are the things that I need to do, like front to back, right? Like these are the orders and repair stuff, and it's a mix of, you know, weaponry and like farming implements, because she's handling, you know, everything, right? She says the blades in the back are the ones that I did right, not the ones that'll break.
Sabotage.
And then he gets a big smile and says, Celeste, you know, you always were my favorite blacksmith in town.
Yeah. She kind of sneers and is like, I was the only blacksmith in town, and like gestures to the like pile of work that will never get done.
Arlen, stop making friends with the slavers.
And that's the other reason I like you, is you're quick to pick up on the subtleties of what I say. All right, so, and I go back and start like collecting stuff.
Yeah, and you can see that like the stuff in the front is all like to just pick it up, it looks fine, but like as you start moving, you can feel like things are loose, like hilts are like not as tight as they should be. You know, things.
I'm gonna note those and keep them separate, obviously. And now Arlen's torn, because he's like, I want to give the good stuff to the village to defend itself, but I don't want to give the bandits, who are actually our only fighters, like all the shit gear, because then the slavers are going to completely overroll them. But yeah, I will start getting that, and then I'm planning on starting to like rouse villagers, but I think somebody's already a step ahead of me on that one.
Yeah, because Nissel is Paul revering through the town on horseback, like waking up people, you know, a couple hours before they normally get up to farm. Not super difficult, right? Like as you ride through the town, you can look behind you and you can see like candles being lit behind windows, and such. How roused those people are compared to what the fuck is going on is unclear.
Right.
Sorry, as we're doing this, like in my head, I'm like, what do we ultimately want to see? Because I don't think that like it's not going to be a fight scene, but of you four against, you know, an army. Yeah. Like that would be silly. In my head, this is really about like preparation, right? Like how prepared can the village be for the inevitable?
I think my idea, and you guys tell me what you think about this, is like find any villagers that actually have combat experience. There might be some like retired veterans or whatever here. Give them some of the good swords. Give the rest of the good swords to the bandits, because we want them to actually be able to defend our town in a way. and then like sharp farming implements and things like that pass out to people. Maybe find a couple defensible stone buildings that they could kind of hole up in, if need be.
Yeah.
Also, I find the prettiest of the good swords to give to Umlaut.
Nice.
How many swords does Umlaut have?
Why did we have to get rid of those shadow dogs? They would be so useful right
Would've been
now.
super
I
useful
thought
right
about
now.
that. Yeah, we should have not destroyed the thing and let them just be.
You know,
shadow
at the
dogs.
time, it was a really goddamn good idea. So
I also thought maybe if we could get the Rust brothers to come and get in the mix of this battle, it'd be great to
That's
have
right.
them involved.
Hey, Rust Brothers, these slavers killed your guys.
Yeah. How much more chaos can we cause?
That's right. That's right. Cool. So yeah, like
So, I guess what I'd like to do, instead of gathering things, I'd like to go to the inn
okay.
because there's people there, at least some people there.
Yeah.
Because there's a big kitchen at the inn. There's probably behind the kitchen or behind the building, probably a lot of like chopped wood, I imagine. And they probably have like lamp oil, like a barrel of lamp oil. And so, you know, as we expect these slavers to come in on the road to the east, we can have some wood laid out, and I can gather the people. This is what I intend to do. I'm not sure
Right.
if this is what happens, but I knock on the doors of the people in the inn, say, "Hey, we've got slavers coming. I'm sorry to interrupt your sleep, but you'll become a slave if you don't help me right now."
Get the fuck up and get to work, or else
Yes.
you're
So
gonna
this
get
is what we
hauled
want
off
to do.
somewhere.
So I want to make basically kind of like a fire trap
Okay.
of just wood-soaked oil as they come in, and I hope to have like either a torch or like a burning arrow ignite that when they come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we have
maybe
good
like when they're
coverage.
halfway across it too.
Yeah. So here's how I'm thinking about this. I think getting people awake, not a problem. There's like, we're not rolling to wake people up. Like once like they're coherent enough to like comprehend everything that's going on, and having the town effectively been sacked and occupied once already, like they know what's up, especially after Gallivan like gets his guys together and backs you up, right?
They know the drill.
If nothing else, you know, the townsfolk, they know how to bow to the bullies. Because that's what they've been doing for the last 3 years or so. So yeah, like I think the townsfolk like can get rallied, like made up to execute your plan. Setting up the defenses, you know, and getting them prepared, to me sounds like a crafts roll.
I think that's right.
Um,
I don't like that it's a crafts roll, but I think I agree with you.
I mean, people can help.
I mean, it feels like survival to me, you know, but no, I'm kidding. It's crafts. Yeah.
I mean,
Does anyone want to help set up some innocuous-looking oil-covered wood shit?
yeah.
Owen will all be over helping everything, like do that, or like find like a defensible building to fortify, or or whatever. He's running around helping wherever.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to think of if there's anything that would cover Sorry, I'm looking through. Manipulation kind of covers like every social situation, right?
Right.
And so like that could be an option for like issuing commands, like like ordering people into positions,
convincing people to just do this.
Right. I mean, like you know, if push comes to shove, they'll defend themselves, but like disorganized defense is almost worse than
Arlen can help out with that. It might not be as much of like military like commands of discipline, but it might be like reminding people of the good times of our town and wanting to protect our village and remind people, oh, we've had floods from the river, we've had fires from the forest, we've always been tough, we've always survived before, we can survive, just like motivate.
Yeah. So why don't we do that? Like, I imagine these are all happening like simultaneously, right? With Umlaut and Arland and Nissel like getting the people together, and Tornald like you're devising traps and whatnot, right? So like a crafts roll for like, are these traps going to be effective?
Yeah, I do think crafting sounds the most of it. And would I get any help with that? With like,
well, Arlen said he'd help. How many people can help with that?
So you could have a maximum of 3 dice for help. I would say like getting the villagers to help you is worth at least 2. Right.
Getting them woke up and getting them motivated.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take 2 as a modifier then. All right.
Do we have archers? Does the town have archers?
Like hunters or something?
Yeah. There's
At the very
hunters. The
least, I'll
bandits
have
not
like
a
a
bow.
torch, and I'll just walk up and be like, there we go.
I have
Nissel.
a bow.
Nissel, how fast can you get to your goblin friends, and how fast can they get back here?
Well, that's a good question. How far away is the goblin village from our location, from the town, actually?
I don't
Is it a
think
village
we
or
ever.
like a traveling band?
We didn't
Like,
establish it ever,
Comes
so.
close.
Yeah.
But why would the goblins get involved?
At the dawn of the first day, look for the goblins. They'll be.
Yeah, I'm like honestly, so
Just one little goblin on a giant horse and a bunch of goblins on some wolves.
Does Umlaut say that out loud? Like, why would the goblins help us?
Sure.
Arlen will kind of puff up a little bit or whatever, and it'd be like, I've never met a braver group when shit really hits the fan than fucking goblins. Like, when their shit is threatened or their friends are threatened, they will fight tooth and nail. I mean, look at Nissel, and I grab him and pull him like right next to me, and I'll be like, all the times he's pulled my ass out of the fire.
Nissel's desperately holding on to the horse, and the whole horse is holding on to him. I'm trying to, damn it! Arlen's silver tongue saves him again. Yeah, how far do we have a notion of how far that would be? The distance he'd have to cross?
God. I don't.
Because I know that they, like lore-wise, they're near,
Right.
settlements, but there's no set parameter for where exactly they'd be at.
They might you might actually have to track them down. I guess I should ask you, like, because you like, do they stay in one place? Or like,
I would think that they would seasonally change. So depending on the season, it would depend on where they're at.
okay. Well, it's early spring, now.
They have
Okay.
just come back up here from the south. Then, do you think, kind of situation?
Yeah, possibly. Are we further north than
Well,
we are south?
and here's the other thing is that there's not a whole lot of large amounts of migration. One of the things about the blood mist is that it didn't seem to affect people when they stayed home. That's why nobody hardly ever left their village, right? Because as soon as they were caught away from home, in the mist, they just got torn apart.
I know part of it was I don't want to say emotional, but like frame of mind kind of thing. With the fact that the goblins view their home as shifting every now and then, would that have kind of sheltered them from some of that? I know the Wolfkin were my home is wherever I'm at, and so the Wolfkin had no trouble in the blood mist.
I mean,
because of that weird mindset,
I mean, you could
that's kind of a meta question, I guess, but
yeah, it's a little,
just because knowing what I know as a person about the blood mist and
right,
not necessarily as Arlen, but
yeah. It's a good question, and the sad thing is I'm not actually.
Do we have a die of fate or a fortune die kind of situation?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, they are in fact nomadic. Yeah. Sorry, I just looked it up. Yeah, they are nomadic. They wander about in the forest. I mean, they might be around. You can make an attempt to track them down.
What do you think, Nissa? Would you people want to come to our aid?
Nisso looks out over the plains of the distance. I don't fucking think so.
Look at me real quick. Look at me, Nissa. Look at me. Are you still suffering from that thing where you're lying?
It's the hell out of me.
Yeah, but I can't tell.
Wait, I was gonna say, would Nissel even realize that he was lying?
You
No.
beautiful green bastard. I don't know.
Nope.
All right.
All right. So first things first. Yeah, those traps look like they're gonna work pretty well, right? Like you can set things up so that you can trigger him, light stuff on fire as they're coming. It looks like you set them up in the most clear path in.
There's a brightness in my eyes as I see it.
Did
Just
we do anything
pops up and-
specifically with that goblin body, by the way?
That's a good question. What did you do with False's
I
body?
mean, because if I would probably put it up on a
Put him behind the wall with
post.
sticks in his hand, and we could be puppet and be like, "It's okay, guys. It's all good here."
Weekend at Bernie's with the goblin.
I did it all myself. I got it. They're actually really cool.
Put your weapons away and come on in.
So, is
Take off your
there
pants.
is there a stone building in the village where people who are incapable of fighting might hole up?
Yes. So there's an old mill, right? And it's actually a two-story building. The upper story is all wood, right? But the ground floor is stone. It kind of had to be because it's, you know, it's a watermill, and like that the base has to be strong enough to like maintain, you know, the mechanical strain of you know, dealing with, you know, all of the equipment like running through it, right?
So the only problem is one flaming arrow, and that's a real bad time for everybody inside.
Is true.
I mean,
So
worst
that's-
case, do we have? So they have two directions they can attack from.
Oh, so it's not so much that there's two directions they can attack from. You know that they're coming from the, like, roughly from the east. Some of them might circle
Right.
around, but
Yeah.
The point I was trying to make with that is that the town itself is kind of nestled into the crook of where these two rivers meet, and so it has, you know, a pretty defensible, like, at least two sides, right? The southern and western sides are.
So we put the vulnerable ones back at the actual crossing where that fork is, and then they can escape down in a boat if they have to.
Yeah, well, and there's you know, there's a bridge that goes over each kind of side of the river,
Oh, right,
right?
yeah.
Like,
We would just like evacuate them over the bridge.
If we
No,
need
but
to, they
leaving
could-
them
they could-
out in the wilds is not great either.
But if they just hang out on the other side of the bridge, that's something they could hold fairly easily against a larger force.
yeah, and you also know, like, because of where the bandits were, like, in order
Cover
to
the bridge in oil.
in order to get to the other side of the river, they'd either have to go further east than you went, right? Or they would have to go through the town and use one of those bridges. Like, there's no other.
And what's the bridge to the west made of?
Both of the bridges are stone.
So
Yeah, worst case scenario, they cover it in oil and they set it on fire if they have to.
I can just collapse it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's true.
So put them over the bridge, and then we'll get ready to fucking try to defend the town.
Yeah, I guess, like, set them up, like set up a little camp over there of all the little vulnerable people for the town, and put like one hunter over there as kind of a guard for them.
Yeah.
And
And,
then Umlaut will hang out kind of near-ish the bridge over there, and if it starts looking bad, he'll just collapse it.
Umlaut, you're the tactician here. Should we put all the fighter village people like together in one group? Should we have like the hunters sit off to the side and like shoot them from a flank or something, or like what should we do?
Yeah, I'd put those
Yeah.
any archers up on top of the buildings, and then have them shoot at anybody that comes through the town.
I'm just trying to think if we should flank.
I mean, hunters flanking to me would be like a surprise side kind of thing, and then the slavers don't know where everyone's coming from, and I don't know.
Are there any other horses in town, by the way?
mostly draft horses. Like, let me rephrase. There's a few. Like, honestly, the farmers mostly, like, for plowing and shit, use oxen, right? Docile
Send
and
those
way less
oxen
expensive.
going. What if I mean, docile
And
until
can
you
eat
whip
them.
whip the back of them, they go crazy through the town, right?
All right, so we've got our main force of townspeople kind of at the edge of town.
Right.
What else should we do? So we're gonna put archers off to the sides.
I mean, if I imagined like the ideal trap within the town, you'd have people in the buildings. So that way, every time that they open up a building to find somebody, they're funneled into these little door holes, and people are just stabbing away. and then you have the archers on top of the buildings firing down into the town. And, you know, hopefully by then we just kind of move out and sweep the whole town clean. Or set it on fire, depending on how things go.
That's a workable strategy.
Umlaut walks around the entire village, casting Stonesmith, and builds a wall.
Shit, yeah. I mean, you've got
Boom, boom.
you've got that. All how much willpower do you have?
Looks like 6.
Oh,
It's been storing up a lot.
I mean, yeah, like
how defensible?
Why
could
can't it be
Umlaut-
nighttime right now? God damn.
I mean, like, so there's some, like I said, there's some palisades that are there. You could fill in like some of the gaps. I don't want to belabor it too much. We don't need to get into like the nitty gritty. If you want to use sorcery to like create.
Yeah. So like Umlaut will look for strategic opportunities to like raise stone walls
Cool. Yeah.
to help fortify. Like, you know, if there's like a gap between two buildings and it looks like he can raise a wall in between them just to give less places for the slavers to get in.
Nice. Yeah. You could like totally make a decide how much willpower you want to spend on it.
The only question I have, Neil, is Stonesmith is a ritual. How long do rituals take to cast?
I don't know.
Why you gotta ask questions like that, Matt?
I'm sorry. I didn't ask. You don't
I'm
know.
joking. I'm joking.
You're really raising the property values of this town.
Building. All right, hold on. Let me grab my book.
So
Page 118. Some complicated spells can't be cast as an action in combat as they require more time and preparation. A typical ritual takes a quarter day to perform.
yeah. So like, I mean, we're kind of being fuzzy, with time, right? Like, but you can really think about it as like, you know, it's probably going to take as much time, you know, building Tornald's traps as it would to cast the ritual to reinforce, right? Because
Imagine us working together to try to get the walls and the fire traps kind of organized.
Yeah, like we're gonna put a wall here and then some fire traps in between, and
yeah. So
mechanically, how do we want to have that kind of impact? What happens?
So I think,
Like if I spend more willpower, does it affect it more? Or...
well, if you spending more willpower, basically like let's see.
Is there a way we can?
Yeah, because you
separate-
for every willpower you spend, you get an extra die to roll, right? That's just how
Oh, so more likely it'll be successful.
Right.
casting spells is always successful. It's just it may also cause
Be bad times.
yeah.
That's cool.
As
I have a
long
cop.
as you're not like overreaching.
Oh, right.
So
I don't want to go. Oh,
Is building a wall around a town overreaching?
well, no, by overreaching, I mean like technically if you have rank 2 in the spellcasting talent, you can still cast rank 3 spells. It's just that
Right.
something always goes wrong when you do it.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes it's super rad when you do that.
Yeah.
But
All right, are we ready for my stonesmith roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
All right.
I'm
all
ready
right,
for
all right.
Umlaut to start raising some stones, raising walls.
Cool. How much willpower are you spending on it?
3.
Oh, that looks good, right?
Nice. Yeah.
It feels good. It looks good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the max it can do.
Yeah. You freaking earthbend a bunch of walls, like.
Stomps his feet and raises his arms.
Suddenly, you're a blind little girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Did I? Let me rephrase that.
Toph is the
Suddenly,
best
you're like the
character.
second best character.
No, the
Second
first best character.
first
I don't know
best
about
character?
Second best. Yeah, first best character.
How many
Iroh.
Sokka?
Iroh.
No, Iroh. Yeah.
All right, stop it.
Listen, you guys, it's a tie. Okay, it's a tie.
All right. So you got traps. You got walls. You got halflings lying in ponds distributing swords.
Yeah. And you've got one goblin and a horse.
One goblin and a horse. I mean, do you want to lead the archers?
I would love to lead. Well, here's Nissel's idea. He would have the archers on the rooftops, but he himself would be on horseback and ride the perimeter as a flanker to try to launch arrows from the outside.
Gotcha.
Arland would position himself with the biggest number of townsfolk fighters, whatever combatants we're gonna have.
Yeah.
Because right when they start to swing, I want to use my Path of the War Cry on as many groups around me as I can. So
Cool. So here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna take a break here in just a minute because it's 9:00 and my kid's bedtime was half an hour ago. and I'm a good parent. But when we come back, I think those, the preparations that you've made could be bonus dice. Like they provide advantages for, like, when the guys come, right? When the slavers get here, depending on like what you want to do fictionally, like those things you've already done can add to your effectiveness. Is that?
Sounds good.
Yeah. If you had failed, then either bad things would have already been happening, or you would have a harder time. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a short break, 10 minutes, and when we come back, we will see how things went.
We'll see who dies.
All right.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment.